We're in a very important moment in the history of this country. Bigotry, prejudice, and racism are all coming to the front. And as horrible as it is, maybe there's an opportunity in that. In Israel, the Holocaust was part of my everyday life. I was raised to fear Germans and Palestinians. I felt compelled to know how Germans of today deal with feelings of guilt for the Holocaust. And I realized I have to talk to Palestinians. With the Germans, I felt I was representing descendants of victims, while talking to the Palestinians, I realized that I'm actually representing the perpetrators themselves, talking to my victims. You know, I always think pain cannot be measured or compared. I think that the tears of a Palestinian mother equals to the tears of a Jewish mother.
Yes, the pain is similar. The personal pain is similar. But when a Palestinian family loses a child for political violence, the consequences for the family are so heavy. So I empathize with the loss of Israeli mothers and Israeli families, but I don't empathize at all with the collective cause of Israelis.
Dr. Samach Jabbar is a psychiatrist who deals with trauma, who treats people who suffer from trauma as a result of the Israeli occupation. She is very devoted to resistance, and as such, she is saying things that I don't necessarily endorse. But I saw it as a challenge for myself to listen to, because I wanted to hear about her experience. Afterward is a documentary that points to the future and advocates for us to listen to each other and to start a dialogue, and by that decrease the ignorance that we have in our society, to fight in the way the bipartisanship, the racism, and the rise of anti-Semitism. We can learn from the Holocaust, not just remember it, but put the memory into use when we deal with conflicts like Israeli-Palestinian conflict, and even things that are happening in this country in terms of bipartisanship and racism. I was born in Israel. My connection to the Holocaust was extended family of my parents, but mainly the person who made a huge impact on my emotional experience was my great uncle, Binyamin, who lost his 2 children and wife in a gas chamber. When I came to this country 40 years ago, I married a child survivor, so it continued. I mean, the Holocaust was now present in our own household. I felt that in my upbringing, I was given the message that I should hate Germans forever after. And I was afraid that I'm going to transfer this legacy to my sons. And I thought, how can I stop this cycle of hate? So I went to Germany and I interviewed Germans descendant of perpetrators.
My father died at an SS meeting. I knew so very little. I was, you could say, blind.
And then I realized that there's another group of people that I was also raised to fear and hate, namely the Palestinians. And I decided to embark on a trip to Israel and Palestine and talk to them. And that was a profound experience, because I never realized that I have part actually in occupation and responsibility. You can make a connection with people if you first of all listen to them. And when we are talking about the Israeli conflict, I feel the onus is on the Israelis. It all starts with one person listening to the other. The Israeli, or like me, are we still the enemy?
No, absolutely no. The enemy is the occupation, the system, the idea. The occupation is our common enemy.
The one thing I would like to people take from the film is the realization that the future is in our hands. We might not have control over the past, but the afterward is for us to decide, and we have a choice in the matter, and we should exercise that freedom to choose.